Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a corporate survival story that honestly sounds almost impossible. I mean, think about how many massive legacy brands just vanish when consumer tastes shift, right? They just slowly fade into irrelevance. But the turnaround we're exploring today, it breaks that mold entirely. We are diving into how a fast food giant, teetering right on the brink of losing its entire audience, managed to execute one of the most cinematic, dramatic rebuilds in modern business history. And the crazy part? They didn't just tweak a logo. They gutted their entire operational philosophy to rebuild the brand from the inside out. Let's get into it.
So picture this. It's the late 2000s, and this company is facing a massive existential crisis. And it was all rooted in one thing: a total lack of trust. The brutal reality was that customers were openly, loudly criticizing the pizza. And we're not just talking about a few grumpy online reviews here. Late-night television comedians were making national jokes comparing the crust to literal cardboard. Ouch, right? Competitors were stronger, they were faster, and frankly, they were making significantly better food. The brand just felt stuck in a bygone era. They realized, in the absolute hardest way possible, that just dropping a pizza off at someone's front door was absolutely no longer enough to survive, especially not if the food arriving at that door was essentially a punchline.
All right, part one, a brand under pressure.
Now, I want you to imagine you're sitting in the executive boardroom during this crisis. The stakes are sky high. The company wasn't just fighting other pizza chains anymore. They were battling this deeply ingrained, highly toxic public perception. Because here's the thing. Once customers fundamentally stop trusting your actual product, all of your marketing dollars, they just burn up. Zero return. Sure, you can offer these steep, desperate discounts to get people to order for one night, but only a genuinely better experience is ever going to bring them back. So the executives face this terrifying strategic dilemma. Should they try to protect the old image, double down on aggressive PR, and just pretend everything is fine? Or should they admit that something fundamentally had to change? That is a paralyzing position for any legacy brand with thousands of franchise owners to be in.
Well, the company chose honesty. But it wasn't just some quiet, buried press release. No, it was radical, unprecedented public honesty. They actually went on national television and agreed with their harshest critics. They publicly owned the heavy criticism, they completely overhauled the recipe from the dough all the way to the sauce, and they began rebuilding the brand from the absolute ground up. Just think about how truly shocking it is for a massive national corporation to look directly into a camera and basically say, you know what, you were right, our product wasn't good. That radical honesty, that was the brilliant foundation of credibility for everything that followed.
Which brings us to part two, the digital arsenal.
See, fixing the pizza was actually only step one. That newfound honesty sparked a massive digital transformation that would go on to change the entire fast food industry. The company woke up to an ultimate truth. The future of food delivery is the process. Think back to how frustrating the delivery experience used to be in the early 2000s. You had to call on a landline, wait on hold, shout your order over all this crazy kitchen noise, and then you just sat in the dark wondering if the food would ever actually show up. They knew ordering had to be easier, tracking had to be clearer. The whole thing had to feel utterly reliable. So they didn't just throw random tech at the wall to see what stuck. They deployed digital tools with surgical precision, specifically to kill customer frustration and hand total control directly back to the buyer.
Order received, prep, bake, quality check, out for delivery. Honestly, today, it sounds like a standard set of back-of-house operations. But strategically, at the time, exposing this timeline was an absolute game changer. Customers didn't just want fast delivery. They craved certainty. Think about it. The black box of ordering food is just full of micro-anxieties. You sit on the couch thinking, did the restaurant even get my order? Is it in the oven yet? Is it just sitting cold on a counter somewhere? By pulling back the curtain, they visually answered all of those questions in real time. Because, let's be real, waiting without information is agonizing. It fundamentally triggers this human sense of losing control. It's just inherently frustrating. But waiting with real-time, step-by-step updates, that shifts your brain away from anxiety and directly into anticipation. It feels controlled. It feels managed. This one simple psychological shift completely transformed the nature of delivery. It took a previously stressful waiting period and turned it into an incredibly sticky, highly effective trust-building mechanism.
Okay, moving on to part three, ordering everywhere. Once they nailed the tracking, they rapidly moved to make placing an order an entirely frictionless, completely effortless process. Having won back that initial trust, they rolled out what they called the AnyWare strategy. And they completely blanketed the digital ecosystem. We're talking smartwatches, voice assistants, text messages, Twitter, smart TVs, and get this, even connected car systems. The sheer scale of this push was just staggering. You kind of have to appreciate the absolute beautiful absurdity of it. The fact that you could order a pizza directly from your dashboard while driving on the highway, or literally just by tweeting a single pizza slice emoji. While competitors were still just trying to sell pizza, they were selling convenience, speed, and absolute control on whatever device you happen to be looking at.
Next up, Part 4, Connecting Tech and Operations.
Now we have to look behind the curtain here, because here is a hard, universal truth about business. A flashy app is completely useless if your kitchen is chaotic or your delivery drivers keep getting lost. That slick digital facade absolutely had to connect seamlessly with massive operational engines behind the scenes. Ordering systems, kitchen workflows, delivery routing, store execution, franchise coordination, deep data analytics. All of these pieces had to be perfectly synchronized. And the operational friction to actually achieve that, it's immense. You have to align thousands of independent franchise owners, retrain all your kitchen staff, and implement complex data routing that won't crash during a Friday night rush. This is exactly why they became way more than just a restaurant chain. They evolved into a true technology-enabled delivery business. The beautiful user interface only worked because the sweaty, relentless operational reality actually supported it.
So this epic turnaround really relied on 3 equal pillars: product improvement, public honesty, and digital convenience. Think of this like the climax of a movie where all the different plot threads finally weave together perfectly. The entire formula is incredibly fragile. If you pull out just one of these pillars, the whole facade crumbles. A dramatically better recipe without digital convenience wouldn't have solved the full customer experience. On the flip side, amazing cutting-edge tech without a better pizza would just feel incredibly superficial, right? Like a total gimmick. And aggressive marketing without that initial, brutal, on-camera honesty, it would have completely lacked credibility. They needed all 3 elements working in total perfect unison, just to survive.
Finally, Part 5, Lessons in Rebuilding Trust. Let's distill this complex case study down into some actionable insights. Number 1, trust always begins with admitting the real problem. You simply cannot spin your way out of a fundamentally broken product. Number 2, your technology should actually solve real customer pain, not just look trendy in a press release. Number 3, transparency massively improves customer confidence. Letting people see inside your process builds undeniable loyalty. Number 4, you must relentlessly connect your sleek digital tools directly to your gritty operational execution. And number 5, true convenience itself can become a powerful, completely insurmountable competitive advantage. They didn't win trust back just by making a commercial saying they were better. They rebuilt trust by making the daily, tangible experience visibly better.
Ultimately, the experience became the strategy, because customers don't just remember what they buy. They remember how easy, how reliable, and how transparent the entire transaction felt from start to finish. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to really sit with for your own ventures, whether they're big or small. If you applied this kind of radical transparency and operational discipline today, what deeply held customer frustrations could you completely flip, turning them into your biggest strategic advantage? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.